welcome to yet another video. In today's video, we're going to talk about probability. And you might be wondering, what is probability? So probability is the likelihood of something or an event taking place. So what happens is that we have got what is called a probability scale or a probability line. So what happens is that probability starts from something that is impossible, so it will have a likelihood of 0, to something that is certain, which is 1. And in between could be half, all right? And all the other stuff in between. So an event that is impossible. So for example, if I say, what is the probability of me getting $1 million in the next hour? That is impossible. But what is the probability of me going to sleep tonight? That is more certain. So what is the probability of, let's say, for example, buying pizza tonight? It could be unlikely. It's not necessarily impossible, but it could be unlikely. Then what is the probability of, let's say, for example, drinking or using the bathroom today? It is more likely or even more certain, all right? So at the end of the day, probability is dealt with using this scale, probability line that is from impossible to certain. And at the end of the day, probabilities will add up to 1. So probabilities can either be recorded as fractions. They can also be recorded as decimals. So 0 becomes 0.0. 50% here becomes 0.5. And this will just be 1.0, which can also be recorded as a percentage. Okay, let me use another color there. So that is 0% for something that is impossible. That is 50% for something that has a 50-50 chance of happening. And 100% for something that is certain. All right, cool. So probability is something that we use in terms of given a series of trials. So for example, or for instance, we use this formula in probability. Let me just write it down. So the probability of something, let's say for example, the easiest would be flipping a coin. We know that a coin has got 2 sides. A coin has got heads and tails. So let's say for example, what is the probability if we flip a coin, we get heads? So the top part of your equation is always called the number of outcomes. Now, so the number represented by this hashtag of what? Outcomes. Out. Then over, that is the denominator, the total. Another hashtag there. The total outcomes. All right, total outcomes. I just put total O. So for instance, the probability of getting a heads is that how many heads are there in a coin? In a coin, there's only just 1 head. And over, how many total outcomes do we have? We have heads and tails. That is 2. So the probability of getting a heads is half, or 50%. All right, or 0.5. All right. So probability is always either you represent it as a fraction, as a percentage, or as a decimal, mainly because fraction, decimals, percentages, they are all brothers. All right, they're all related. You can convert in between them. If you are confused on how to convert these, please check one of the videos on this channel. I will link it in the description. All right, so we just want to do a few examples just for us to master this concept of probability. All right, just gonna erase all this and I'll just show you what we mean. All right, so let's say for example, I'm gonna take a hypothetical. We're gonna do a hypothetical bag here. I'm gonna draw a hypothetical bag. Let's say in this plate, okay, let's make it a plate. We have got different types of jelly beans. So let's say we've got blue jelly beans there. We also have green ones. All right. We also have orange ones. Okay, we also have pink ones. Okay, so let's see how many we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, that's a cool number. So now the question will come, what is the probability of you picking a pink? Okay, the probability of picking a pink one would be, how many pink ones are there? We see that in this plate there are 2 pink ones. Now, what is the total of all the sweets that we have? The total is 10. All right, so the probability of picking a pink sweet will be 2 over 10. However, in maths, you always simplify. So we find a number. What number goes into 2 and goes into 10? That's 2. So 2 goes into 2 once, and 2 goes into 10 5 times. So the probability of picking a pink sweet or a pink jelly bean will be 1 over 5. All right, so that can be repeated. So let's say, for example, they asked you, what is the probability of picking a green sweet? All right. Okay. So you ask yourself, how many green sweets do we have? The green sweets we have is 3, and the total sweets we have 10. Okay, and we can't simplify 3 over 10, so that will be your answer. The probability of getting a green sweet will be 3 over 10. And as I told you, you can even represent this as a decimal, that is 0.3, or you can represent it as a percentage, that is 30%. So the key is this, always knowing, okay, the event, could it be impossible? Could it be unlikely? Could it be even chance? Could it be likely, or could it be certain? So we know that it is 3 over 10 will be somewhere here. So it's unlikely that if we are picking it, we'll pick a green we'll pick a green sweet. All right, and the probability is a 30% chance. If you are blindly picking a sweet, you have a 30% chance of picking a green sweet. But we also see that another sweet that also has 3 would be the blue sweet. So the probability of picking the green and the what? And the blue will both be what? 30% chance. All right, cool. So always when we are dealing with our probability, we always know that the numerator would be the number of outcomes and the denominator would be the total number of outcomes. All right, so I'm just going to give you one more example. All right, so some of these examples, they depend on whether you know certain things already. So we already know, or I don't know if this generation is familiar with playing cards. So in playing cards, we've got hearts, we've got diamonds. All right, we also have spades. Okay, I don't know if that is how you draw the spades. We also have 3 leaves. All right, okay, but now the key is this, we have 13 of each. That is from A to the king. All right, so we have 13 of each, and 13 times 4, the total is 52. All right, so if somebody asks you, what is the probability of picking from a random deck of cards, and you pick a heart? All right, we know that we have 13 hearts out of a total deck of 52 cards. All right, and remember, you always simplify. 13 goes into 13 once, and 13 goes into 52 4 times. So your probability of picking a heart would be 1 over 4, or 25%. All right, so that is what probability is all about, finding the likelihood of an event or an experiment taking place, whether it is impossible or certain. And remembering that the scale always goes from 0 to 1. So at the end of the day, if we add 1 over 4 of hearts, 1 over 4 of diamonds, 1 over 4 of spades, 1 over 4 of clubs, we'll get a total of 1. So at the end of the day, there's 100%. It should not go beyond 1. All right. So that is basically what probability is all about. Keep on practicing. The more you practice, the more you cement the skills in your mind. See you in the next one.